Port Harcourt Tech Expo 2026. This is the Fireside Quarter. My name is Mimi, and I have one of your favorite persons with me on here, Aproko Doctor. Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
It's lovely to have you here.
Thank
Are
you
you
for having
excited to be here?
I am.
How excited are you? How are you going to show me that you're excited?
How am I going to show you?
Do something to show me that you're excited to be here.
Unfortunately, that's very difficult.
How?
Because most of the time I'm hyper. So right now,
So today, you're trying to be composed,
Yeah, I'm trying to.
cool, calm, and collected. I agree with you. Is this your first time here at Port Harcourt Tech Expo?
Yes, this is my first time at Port Harcourt Health.
And what do you think about it?
I love the conversations that are happening. I like that the conversations are forward-looking, in the sense that we're actively searching for solutions. Mm-hmm. One of the things I also love about this particular expo is the theme around it, which is Syntropy.
Yeah.
And for me, that symbolizes organized energy, not just entropy that is scattered, but now we're moving towards something. We're trying to show something. We're organizing towards something.
Okay.
And I could see conversations around EV. I could see conversations around health. I could see conversations around other, different topics, showing that we're all organizing towards something. I love that it's happening in Port Harcourt.
Okay. As a medical doctor, if you were to solve one health problem through technology, what would that be?
As a medical doctor, if I were to solve one health problem with technology, it will be a central interoperable health record system.
Tell us about it, please.
We want a situation where I can leave my health center in Jigawa, travel all the way to Port Harcourt, and the health professional who is attending to me already has my records that have been domiciled from where I'm coming from.
Okay.
That way, I don't have to always explain. That is one thing from the individual point of view.
Yeah.
Now, I don't, because there are some things I'll miss out, but he knows every single drug interaction I've had.
Wow.
He knows my blood group. He knows every single health condition I've ever had. So he knows what I'm at risk of and what he should guard against.
Okay.
He doesn't need to ask that. That is on the individual point of view. On the general point of view, we are also collectively looking at our healthcare as a whole. Let me put it this way. If we have that organized health record system, we're able to tell how many children have not been vaccinated. We're no longer guessing.
Okay.
Now we know. But we don't just know the number of children, we know who they are, and we know where they are. So we can then interface with them and find out why they've not been covered.
Okay.
We can also tell when an outbreak is about to happen. Why? Because everybody who has interfaced with that healthcare record, I know what you're complaining about. I know if it's a fever. Now, if everybody's having fever and we're currently having an outbreak of Ebola, for instance, God forbid, we're able to tell, we think that the collection of these people here might be at risk. That is what an organized, interoperable health record system will do for us. Because currently what is happening is we have people who have electronic medical record systems, but these medical record systems are not talking to one another. So I have my special record system, but I come to your hospital and I have to use your own record system. I have to fill in the details all over and over again. It's a lot of work. It's like your bank account. If I should have an organized number, and that is actually one of the responsibilities that the government and the private sector have to come together to build.
Okay, so I listened to everything that you have said. Now let's look at Nigeria at large. How close are we to achieve all of these things that you have mentioned right now? How many years do you think it will take us to get there?
So I would reframe it. Rather than look at it at the number of years or the difficulty, I would look at what needs to be in place for this to happen.
Okay.
One of the things that needs to be in place is that confusion around roles have to first of all go away.
Okay.
The government has to know what its responsibility is.
Okay.
The people, which is the private sector, have to also know what their responsibility is. Now, the government's responsibility is to build the infrastructure, the standards, and the rails. So the supporting framework, that's the government's responsibility.
Okay.
The private sector responsibility is to build the technology on top of that. Because when these standards exist, then we can build and things will move fast. Look at what has happened in the fintech sector. Almost everybody has a fintech app.
Yes.
Why? Because the rails have been built already.
Okay.
And so builders are building on top of it.
Okay.
We do not have that kind of function yet in the healthcare system.
Okay.
We're still trying to build we're still trying to figure out what rails we need to build. And the private builders are building trains that are not running on rails yet. And so there's a lot of confusion. If we have EMR records that do not speak to one another, we just have chaos. So what needs to happen is that there needs to be clarity on roles.
Okay.
What is the government role? What is the private role? And then we all need to come together in a sandbox and build.
Okay. So I have two more questions for you. One of which is, being a medical doctor, you have had the opportunity to interact with people a lot, physically and, virtually. So what is that thing that you've learned the most about people, being a medical doctor?
One of the things
gets to interact with people.
One of the things I learned about
humans
in general is that everyone is making a rational decision about their healthcare, irrespective of whether it makes sense to you as a healthcare professional or not. The person who decides to buy drugs from the woman who's hawking herbal medications on the road is making a rational decision according to the information they already have.
I know.
So you need to be able to put yourself in their shoes and understand the problem from their perspective. One of the mistakes that we've made is that we're always trying to force our solutions on people without first of all understanding where they are coming from. When you understand where they are coming from, we build alongside. And I think that that's one of the things interacting with people has taught me. It's also one of the things that has shaped my entire career when it comes to healthcare education.
Okay. All right. I'm taking a lot of your time. I apologize for that.
That's fine.
But before I let you go, I want to know, where did the name Aproko come from? How did you think about it? People are trying to answer, very exotic names. Where did you get the Aproko doctor from?
So I think first of all, it was understanding who my audience is.
Okay.
My audience is the average Nigerians. What matters to them? Stories, gists. What's Aproko? The guy who gives it to them.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
And I like that. Very unique. Thank you so much for coming to Port Harcourt Tech Expo. Was this your first time in Port Harcourt?
No, it isn't. But
have you explored the city at least?
Not yet. I should.
Why?
One of these days I will.
You should do that before leaving. Thank you so much for spending time with me. Do have a lovely day.
Same here.